When I bought my house at the very end of Cactus Vine Lane, I thought I was stepping into a postcard. White fences, kids on scooters, and the soft hum of summer sprinklers. It felt like peace in suburbia, until I discovered I had unknowingly moved into a battleground, ruled by the iron grip of one woman. Karen Delra, president of the HOA, judge, jury, and sidewalk crack inspector. She didn't just run the neighborhood. She owned it, at least in her mind. From trash can positioning to mailbox color coordination, even how long a dog could bark before inciting a neighborhood crisis. Karen had a rule and a violation form. I kept my head down. I trimmed my hedges. I pretended not to notice the passive-aggressive flyers about lawn harmony, until the day she decided my lawn was hers to manage. That's when it all began. At first, it was barely noticeable. A few plastic chairs and a half-empty jug of lemonade appeared one Sunday morning beneath the maple tree in my front yard. 6 HOA board members gathered silently like cultists around a sun-faded folding table, murmuring and sipping like they were summoning the ghosts of neighborhood decorum. I stepped out, arms folded, deadpan. Wrong lawn. Karen, in her signature khaki slacks, chunky orthopedic sandals, and a visor so wide it could pick up satellite signals, gave me a smug little grin. "Oh, we just figured your tree had the best shade for our HOA strategy session. You should feel privileged." The others nodded in sync. Lifeless eyes. Robotic smiles. Creepy. I told them, once politely, to relocate to the community center. They didn't. Instead, week after week, the gatherings grew. More chairs. More lukewarm lemonade. More unsolicited critiques of my garden's lack of cohesion. Then came the notice. Pinned, no, stapled, to my fence like some HOA scarlet letter. Motion to remove gnome statue, tacky and disruptive to neighborhood aesthetics. That gnome had been through more than most humans. 2 divorces and a literal house fire. Now Karen wanted to erase him like he was some offensive lawn graffiti. That was it. That was the moment she crossed the line. But I didn't go to war with a letter or a lawyer. I stood in my doorway, cracked my knuckles, gave a single, low whistle, and out they came. Zeus, Luna, Pepper, 3 German shepherds with the loyalty of knights and the energy of caffeine-fueled teenagers. My furry battalion. They didn't bite, but they chased. The moment their paws hit grass, the HOA board scattered like roaches under a floodlight. Karen let out a shriek that could crack glass, sprinting across the lawn like her clipboard was cursed. Her visor flew off mid-run. A sandal went airborne. She didn't look back. Zeus, the alpha and proud squirrel eradicator, darted straight for the lemonade table. One casual swipe his tail, and it flipped like a scene from an action movie. He locked eyes on the poor soul-lugging folding chairs and sent him scrambling up my lilac bush. Spoiler, the bush did not cooperate. Luna, ever the tactician, cornered Deborah, the HOA secretary, who wielded her clipboard like a medieval shield. Luna didn't growl. She simply barked once. Sharp, deep, biblical. Deborah dropped the clipboard and ran like her HOA life depended on it. Pepper, the youngest and fastest, played Ring Around the Roses with Karen herself. The woman tried to outrun a 2-year-old shepherd in orthopedic shoes. It was hopeless. She collapsed near my rose bushes, wheezing into her Bluetooth earpiece, desperately trying to call for backup. That's when the real twist dropped. Karen, in between gasps, screamed to the dispatcher. He's unleashed a train attack pack on the HOA. But she didn't know. I'd installed a state-of-the-art Joanne smart security system, complete with motion sensors and voice alerts. Before the cops could even respond, the system's calm voice echoed across the lawn. "Warning, you are trespassing. Please vacate the premises immediately." I stood on the porch, completely still, watching chaos unfold with the calm of a man sipping iced tea on Judgment Day. And oh, did it taste sweet. I stood on my porch like a judge at a backyard courtroom, sipping iced tea with a wedge of lemon, watching as the last of the chaos sputtered out. The lemonade was overturned, the folding chairs abandoned. My dogs, Zeus, Luna, and Pepper, returned to me like victorious soldiers, tongues out, tails wagging, eyes bright with justice. I gave them the hero's welcome they deserved. Extra treats and the Rocky theme playing from my Bluetooth speaker. Karen, however, wasn't licking her wounds in silence. Oh no. She came back swinging the very next day. I found a thick envelope shoved into my mailbox, legal style, complete with faux intimidation fonts and lots of underlining. She claimed severe emotional distress, property-related trauma, and you'll love this, terrorist intimidation via canine assault. She even included a glossy, high-res photo of her scraped knee, like she'd survived a war zone, and not just tripped while trespassing. But I wasn't worried. See, while the HOA had been treating my lawn like their personal planning ground, I'd been quietly collecting evidence. Every single unauthorized meeting, every folding chair planted in my grass, every whispered motion scribbled on a clipboard. I recorded it all. My security system doesn't just film, it listens. And what it heard was gold. My lawyer almost fell out of her chair laughing when I handed her the flash drive. You know this is illegal assembly on private property, right? She said, scrolling through footage of Karen positioning a lemonade jug like she was planting a flag on claimed land. Oh, I know, I said. We're not just defending here. We're going on the offensive. So when court day arrived, I was ready. Karen strutted like the villain of suburban soap opera, neck brace, arm sling, oversized sunglasses inside a perfectly lit courtroom. Behind her stood the rest of the HOA, looking like brainwashed backup dancers with printouts of my dog's mid-run. One guy even hobbled on a crutch, though I clearly remembered him tripping over his own shoelace while fleeing. My turn came. I didn't bring a posse. I brought truth. I handed the judge a folder labeled Exhibit A, the HOA Circus. Inside, footage of Karen trespassing, Karen holding unofficial votes on my property, Karen whispering, he didn't give us permission, but what's he gonna do? Spoiler alert, Karen, I was gonna do this. Her lawyer tried to spin it like my dogs were attack animals trained for violence. My lawyer just smiled and pressed play on the clip of my geofence security calmly, saying, warning, you are trespassing. Please vacate the premises. Then Karen's voice rang out. Ignore it. He's bluffing. Oh, Karen, you chaotic masterpiece. Then came the kicker, the zoning violations. Turns out, not only were they meeting on my lawn, they were using my property for storage. Buried behind my shed, I found a stack of community gardening tools, a moldy compost bag, and a rolled-up banner that read, HOA, Stronger Together. Guess Karen forgot to clean up after her little regime. The judge blinked hard, raised his eyebrow like he was trying to send it into orbit. I leaned over to my lawyer and whispered, should we bring up the time they used my garden hose without asking? She snorted so loud the bailiff gave her a look. The verdict came crashing down like a suburban thunderstorm. Trespassing, illegal use of private property, attempted intimidation, emotional harassment. The HOA was ordered to pay restitution for damages, including fresh sod to fix my lawn, and a cease and desist was slapped on all HOA gatherings within 200 feet of my home. Karen looked like someone had unplugged her Wi-Fi mid-Zoom call. Frozen, confused, buffering emotionally. We stepped out of the courtroom, and guess what? Reporters were waiting. Apparently, someone from the HOA leaked the story, thinking it would humiliate me. Instead, it made me a local legend. But Karen? Oh, she wasn't done. Exactly 1 week after that court order, just when my front yard had finally gone back to being a peaceful patch of green paradise. No chairs, no lemonade, no secret HOA rituals. She decided to throw one last tantrum. And trust me, it was her most unhinged yet. After the court victory, peace finally settled over my lawn. No more folding chairs, no more whispered meetings, and definitely no more demands that I exile my beloved gnome statue like it was some kind of national disgrace. Karen had seemingly vanished, probably licking her wounds and furiously Googling how to recover from public HOA humiliation. But just when I thought the drama was done, the encore came stomping back. It was a quiet Saturday morning when I spotted her creeping up my driveway like a raccoon in designer sunglasses. Only this time, she wasn't alone. She showed up with backup. 3 brand new board members, all decked out in matching polos, and carrying clipboards like they were about to conduct a census on my lawn's emotional state. I cracked my door open, ready to hit play on my security warnings again, but Karen beat me to it. "This is a community wellness check. You can't refuse," she announced, stepping boldly onto my grass. I smiled, the kind of smile that says, "I'm just about to serve you some wellness enrichment of my own." Zeus, Luna, and Pepper were already waiting by the door. No barking this time. They'd learned the routine. I gave them a nod, opened a gate, and then sat back to watch the HOA's newest recruits experience the fastest character development of their lives. One guy dropped his clipboard before Zeus even reached him. Another screamed, "I'm just a temp," and vaulted over my fence with Olympic-level panic. Karen? She tried climbing a decorative boulder, shouting for someone to call the mayor. This time, I had a drone capturing every moment. The video went viral within hours. Titled, "HOA versus Dogs, The Final Bark," it hit 2 million views in 2 days. Karen's terrified screams became a meme. Someone even auto-tuned her yelling into a remix called "Get Off My Lawn Remix." The local news picked it up too, calling it suburban justice at its finest. By Monday, the HOA was officially dissolved. The entire board resigned. Karen, now famously labeled a lawn invader, sold her house at a loss and moved to a gated retirement community in Nevada, where dogs aren't allowed and gnomes are considered visual pollution. As for me, I planted fresh grass, gave my dogs their own lounge chairs, and built a little shrine for the gnome they tried to exile. People still drive by just to take pictures because in this neighborhood, the grass really is greener on the side where Karen's tears watered it.